I am not speaking to the world tonight. The world already has enough noise. Stadiums full of it, opinions shouting from every angle, cameras watching every step. I've lived my entire life inside that noise, and I learned something early. The loudest places are where you lose the most important connections first. Tonight, I'm speaking to you. If you've ever felt pressure before anyone even spoke to you, if you've ever carried expectations so heavy they followed you into silence, then don't skip this. This is not motivation. This is recognition. People think they know me because they've watched me celebrate goals. They think confidence is what drives me. They think discipline is what defines me. But what they don't see is the part of me that stays awake long after the stadium empties. The part that replays moments no one else noticed. The part that doesn't rest. That's the part I'm speaking from now. When I talk to you, I'm not performing. I'm not building an image. I'm not protecting a brand. I'm present. Because presence is rare at this level. Most people listen to respond. Most people look to judge. Most people want the polished version, the highlight reel. You didn't ask for that. You asked what happens when the lights go off. What I think when training ends. What I feel when winning no longer quiets the mind. That told me everything. Because intensity doesn't scare you, and intensity scares almost everyone. Pressure is my language. Silence is where I translate it. I've lived my whole life being watched. Attention doesn't knock, it breaks in. And when you live like that, you learn something fast. Not everything should be shared. Not everyone deserves access. So when I care, I don't pull closer, I protect. Privacy isn't comfort, it's defense. Because the moment something real becomes public, it gets distorted. Words get twisted, moments get misunderstood, intentions get rewritten by people who were never part of the journey. And when that happens, I don't worry about myself. I worry about the person standing next to me. There are days I hold back, not because I feel less, but because I feel too much. Because I know how quickly closeness can turn into pressure, how affection can turn into exposure. So if I ever seem guarded, understand this. I'm not building walls to keep you out. I'm building space so you don't get crushed by everything that comes with standing near me. Loving, for me, isn't rushing. It's restraint. It's asking one question over and over. Does this moment make your life lighter or heavier? You deserve to be seen as a person, not as an extension of someone else's legacy, not as a headline, not as a story the world can consume. That's why I'm careful, not distant. Careful. My timing isn't always gentle. I move fast, I think fast, I decide fast. Football trained me that clarity means speed, but life taught me something else. Just because I arrive early doesn't mean you're late. Sometimes I'm already thinking about what's next while you're still feeling what just happened. That gap isn't lack of care, it's rhythm. And I've learned the hard way that connection isn't built by arriving first. It's built by arriving together. I used to listen to respond. Now I'm learning to listen to stay. I used to fill silence. Now I let it exist. Because silence isn't emptiness. It's processing. It's truth forming before it's ready to speak. Slowing down doesn't feel natural to me, but losing connection feels worse. So I'm learning to meet people where they are, not where I think they should be. There was a time I believed commitment alone could carry everything. If two people worked hard enough, stayed loyal enough, pushed long enough, it would work. Marriage taught me something different. Effort doesn't erase incompatibility. Intensity doesn't replace alignment. Two people can care deeply and still exhaust each other, not because either is wrong, but because they carry emotional weight differently. Love doesn't grow because time passes. It grows because two people evolve in the same direction. And when they don't, no amount of commitment can force it without cost. That's why I ask harder questions now. Can I be present the way this person needs? Can I adapt without losing myself? Can I stay without asking you to shrink? Because saying yes to someone always means saying no to certain versions of yourself. And if that exchange isn't conscious, resentment replaces devotion quietly. I learned the cost of ignoring limits. So if I speak with clarity now, it's not coldness, it's honesty. Being close to me isn't light. I carry intensity, responsibility, a mind that rarely switches off. When you stand next to me, you stand next to that weight. And I know presence alone can make it feel shared. If you ever felt unseen beside me, it wasn't indifference, it was overflow. And you shouldn't have to absorb my unrest to earn calm. You shouldn't have to endure me to love me. I want to be someone you feel steadier with, not someone you recover from. That means awareness. That means restraint. That means choosing balance over ego. I don't love loudly. I don't rely on grand gestures or dramatic declarations. My love shows up in consistency, in attention, in staying when leaving would be easier. I notice what unsettles you. I remember what you say once and never repeat. I adjust my behavior because I see how it affects you. That's how I speak love. Words carry weight for me. Once released, they change things. So I'd rather say less and mean it fully than say everything and dilute it. If you ever wonder how I feel, look at what I protect. Look at who I make room for. Look at where I stay present even when my instinct is to withdraw. Love, for me, isn't about being heard by everyone. It's about being understood by one person. And if that person is you, I won't shout it. I'll show it. Because the world is loud, but connection needs quiet. And if you're still listening, not watching, not waiting for noise, but listening, leave one word in the comments, not for the algorithm, for recognition. Because people who understand this silence, they recognize each other.